Welcome into Top Dogs with Mark Zeno and Jeremy Kahn, college edition for week 6 in college football. And it's great to be with you guys. We appreciate you joining us. We know we need a show intro. I think we were just talking about that. We need some sort of, noise.
Da, 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 da. Here come the guys. They don't know what they're talking about. No, we won't do that one. We want to. No, you know what's funny?
We did good last week. Right?
We did, but I felt like I didn't know what I was talking about because I did exactly what we said on the show. You and I had the conversation. There's a rule in college football. You don't bet on Penn State in big games, and Penn State was one of my favorite plays this weekend. And again, you look back in the mirror and you're like, why are you so stupid? Don't be stupid this week.
Oh, I do this every week, like I showed you. I write down all the games every week, right? This whole list right here was last week, right here. All these won except for the bottom 3, which were the 3 I gave out to you subscribers. So sorry, guys. Anyway.
We're still having a great season in college football, man.
We are still having a very good season. I'll tell everybody right now. This show comes out on Thursdays. We have Friday night football, Saturday football, Sunday. Guys, get the 3-day package. Package Jeremy and I together. If you put us together, it's a
3-way. Oh,
that's weird. It's a Conizzo, something like that.
You could make that work, yeah.
You know,
Conizzo,
a Conizzo,
Zenocon.
There you go, Zenoc.
Anyway, first Billy
is like we're a good team, and you guys should buy us together. But
yeah, so for me, look, I know we're talking college football. I had a winning day. The Penn State game makes it feel like it's not a winning day.
I know.
I had like up
on
until
that, Bama money line, Oregon money line were on this list, and I didn't.
I remember talking about some of the games with you, and the games I eventually got on. I had a great Sunday. I hit my best bet.
NFL week for me.
Yeah, I think you and I talked about it. I don't know if it was on the air or off the air, but the Chiefs were my best bet, and you.
Yes.
Yep,
I had them. They were not losing that game.
No.
Regardless. Okay, let's get to the games here. 5 games for you guys. Actionable info. We'll have a show best bet for you. Cashed our show best bet last week because why? We're good. And let's get it started here, shall we? With the first game. Why does this keep doing that? It's not the first game on the board. It's the last game on the board. I got to figure out this part. You know me with these buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Wisconsin, Michigan. Look at that freaking number. The Badgers plus 17.5, total 43.5. This number was at 16.5 earlier in the week. Probably gone. If you could buy it back, I would consider it. Look, I got to tell you, there is no way I'm betting Wisconsin. That offense stinks. It is awful. And the Luke Fickell experiment at Wisconsin is not going well right now. What you do have on the other side, first of all, both these teams coming off a bye. It's hard, though, Jeremy, to bet on a true freshman quarterback in any given spot. Now, is this the most comfortable spot for a true freshman quarterback in Bryce Underwood? Probably, where it's a home game coming off a bye with 2 weeks to prepare. But still, as bad and as putrid as Wisconsin's offense is, the defense is still respectable. And look at how low this total is. 43.5. That is a low total for college. And I wouldn't be shocked to see the under come in. Possibly a first half under here. If you can get it 21.5, right? I didn't even look at the number, to be honest with you, Jeremy. But it's one of those things where, I don't really trust either of these offenses. I certainly don't want to trust Wisconsin to cover this number because in reality, Michigan can get a defensive turnover in an offensive side of the field that could turn this thing around, right? There's so many different game scripts here that leads to us looking at Wisconsin being able to backdoor this thing. I mean, you have 22.5, by the way, in the first half, which actually may be the way to go.
Yeah, so you made a couple of great points. So with this game, I was just talking about Wisconsin with somebody else. I didn't know how bad they were. I mean, Alabama beating them is like, I kind of expected that. And when Maryland went in there and just torched them, I'm going, yeah, this is awful. I think Wisconsin is really bad this year. And to the point of what you talked about, their offense being so bad, if they fall behind, they can't catch up. So you're looking at that number going, is 17.5 too much? I'll tell you one, I do like Justice Haynes to get in the end zone for an anytime touchdown. He's averaged like 134 yards a game.
What are you doing? Props? College props? What are you doing here?
I do college props.
Don't be fooled by the props that I got, okay?
Yeah, I'm not going to touch your props.
That's all.
But no, like with this, I think I would lean towards Michigan, and I agree with you about the under, especially in the first half. I think that's a great play. It's going to take Michigan is going to wear down their defense as good as
Right.
Wisconsin's defense has been because their offense can't do anything.
And oh, by the way, even if you wanted to take Michigan first half -9.5, I sort of took the same approach with the Wisconsin Maryland game. Remember, even though it was only 6.5, like there's not a world where Wisconsin catches up in this game. If Michigan is up by 14.5, I don't see. Explain the game script for me without Michigan doing multiple stupid things that get Wisconsin back in this game. You need a special teams touchdown. You need a turnover. You need a defensive touchdown. Like, that's what gets Wisconsin back in the game, or multiple turnovers by Michigan. There's not a world where Michigan's offense marches down the field in Ann Arbor multiple times in the second half to get back within a number. I don't see it. So Wisconsin can only be played, I think, in the first half. And furthermore, I don't think that this is an offense I trust to try to sneak through the back door. Michigan's defense is still very good.
In the big house, treat them like Reggie. That's what you need to do. Now, sorry, that's a Django Unchained movie reference.
I know Django.
Okay,
familiar.
But again, I think you're right with this.
Rolls, by the way.
With the game script and how everything plays out, I think you've nailed this one. For me, it's either a no bet or I'm looking at the under, as you pointed out in the first half, seems better to me. If you force me to take a side, I would take Michigan.
Right, because here's the danger in the under in the full game, and I could see this happening. Sure, it could happen in the first half too, but like Wisconsin is trying to, frantically get down the field to make it respectable or whatever, and a bad pick six happens. I mean, let's go back to week 1 when Marquette Michigan State against Central, whoever it was, laying 22 when they were up 23-0, and then the asshat threw a pick six with under 2 minutes left when they should have just been running the damn ball. Like stupid stuff like that happens. And anyway, still sour about that one. All right. So that's where we are in this game. I think we both kind of agree that Michigan or pass, certainly the under, first half under. Now we get to the other rank. There's 2 rank versus rank matchups this week. This is one of them. This is going to be a very interesting one. Can I read a stat for you, Jeremy Kahn, that is going to blow you away?
Whew. It's been a pretty good stat. There's a pregnant pause there that shouldn't have been there. It's like, hey, what kind of
wait? Nobody gets pregnant from that. Nobody.
What kind of show is this? Oh, anyway, go ahead. Please read that to me.
What hotel is this anyway? Okay, going through the ranked versus ranked games so far this season, if you blindly bet the lower ranked team, regardless if they were favored or a dog, home or away.
So what do you mean lower? Please, because some people look at it.
So in this case, the lower ranked team would be Vanderbilt, who is 16, versus Alabama, who's 10.
I agree, but there are people that say the higher ranked team, meaning the higher number, they do it the other way.
Stupid, and they're doing it wrong.
Well, all right,
hi, I'd like to make an announcement here. The first edict on Top Dogs, College Edition. When you say lower ranked, if you think that is, if Alabama is 10 and Vanderbilt is 16, and you say lower ranked team and you think it's Alabama, you're an idiot.
What about lower seeded team?
You're not allowed to watch this show. No, the lower seeded team is still Vanderbilt. You're not allowed to watch this show anymore. Please depart and leave. Thank you. Anyway, moving on, since you ruined my stat that was about to blow your mind away.
Go ahead. Read it again. It sounded so good the first time.
Ranked versus ranked. If you blindly bet the lower ranked team, regardless of whether a favorite, a dog, home or away, you would be 12-3 straight up and 13-2 against the number. The lower ranked teams, AK in this case Vanderbilt, 4-0 straight up, 4-0 ATS. Lower ranked team is a dog, Jeremy, 8-3 straight up, 9-2 ATS. Now, what does this tell you? These polls don't mean shit, is what they tell you. Like, these polls are full of nothing. It's a bunch of crap. But this particular matchup here brings another element in. And I don't know if you believe in this, Jeremy, but in college sports, I absolutely do. Revenge.
Yeah.
After what Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt did last year to Alabama, basically knocking – that's the game that kind of, I think, knocked them out of the college football playoff, to be honest with you. They had another loss down the road the end of the year, but this is the one that really did it to them. They get to come back to Tuscaloosa, play this team again. But boy, Jeremy, I know you like it thick, and that's a thick number.
Yeah. How'd you know I liked it thick?
Good size.
Um,
Good size number.
Look, I agree with you on this because I went into all the revenge narrative. Is it a letdown spot after beating Georgia on the road? You know, and we'll talk about the other look ahead game that we had with Florida State and Miami in a little bit. But this is one where everything you said is spot on. And I still can't get away from the points that Vanderbilt is getting because I still don't trust Bama fully.
Hey, look, here's what you don't trust. What I do trust about Alabama is their offense. Jeremy Bernard and Ryan Williams are – it's like, you know, watching Henry Ruggs and Jameson Williams run through secondaries. Henry Ruggs has a very short distance to run now, but that's different. So 8x10 cell. Not a lot.
He might be getting out soon, though.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Wow. That's not good. Well, I guess he's walking wherever he's going.
See that tryout.
I'll see you at the treeouts. So the offense I trust. I don't know if I trust Bama's defense. And the other thing, man, Diego Pavia loves ripping out your heart on a national stage. Like he's not a good quarterback. Like, objectively, he's not that great of a quarterback. He's too small. He won't play in the NFL. But for whatever reason,
he's a gamer.
And that's the thing. I suppose it's a thing.
When people would say all that Tim Tebow does is win, like, oh, and I'm like, that's such a stupid, what do you mean all he does is win? But that's kind of what happened. Like when you look at Diego Pavia, he's not putting up fantastic numbers or anything. If you watch him, there's nothing that you see and you go, oh my God, I want that.
To say this about Ben Roethlisberger, and this is Diego Pavia. Somehow it's 3rd and 13. That dude will find a way to get 14 yards.
Yep.
And it drives you nuts. So everything in my fiber of my being situationally wants to bet Alabama. I'm not going to. So you know what I'm going to do? Just bet the freaking over.
Probably the best call in this one. As I said, I went back and forth looking at both all the things that we talked about and trying to see why this team could win and cover, why this team could win, cover the spread. Ultimately, what I get back to is I just think it's too many points, and I could see the Alabama dominates backdoor cover.
I mean, the other part of this is, too, that Alabama is going to be a huge money line parlay liability for books this weekend because everyone's going to do exactly what you're doing. Too many points, but is Alabama really going to lose this game in a revenge spot? No, they're not going to. And Diego Pavia is sitting there going, excellent.
He does have a knack for doing that, man. It's
just
he picks it up with his feet all the time too. It's like, hey, it's 3rd and 18. Well, they're probably going to just lay it up and throw something underneath. He takes off running before you know it. You're like, he just got 19 damn yards.
Yep, that's it. So again, if you're following those same trends about the lower seeded team, lower ranked team, aka Vanderbilt, you dummies, because Vanderbilt is a lower ranked, lower seeded team. That's the side to take, right? Like I would tell you that's the side to take, but I probably wouldn't. I would just play the over and try to hope that everybody scores and defenses don't show up, and that kind of would be the way to go.
I have a really bad feeling that hook comes into play in this one.
Oh, imagine Bama wins by 10. Like they're up by 3 and a pick 6 happens. And we've seen some weird stuff this year in college and football in general. I mean, again, last week, right? One of the things I left off the card, Utah State walked right in the back door, just like I knew they would. One of the things I put on the card, Navy. You know what Rice did? Walked right in the back door on Navy. Awful.
You and your back door.
Well, one back door was Dutch door because one was good and one was bad. One was high, one was low. So what do you know about my back door? Next game here. This is number 24, Virginia, ranked against Louisville. There is a system, Jeremy, in college football of unranked home favorites against ranked road dogs. Those unranked road favorites cover close to 70%.
Or home favorites, right? Or that's what
you're talking about. Home favorites, what I say. Unranked, thank you.
Unranked lower seed
favorites, okay, against a ranked road opponent. Did I say it right again? Did I say it wrong?
I think so. I don't.
Unranked home favorites against a ranked road dog. The unranked home favorite covers about 70% of the time.
It's one of my favorite plays. Like when I open up the week's schedule or whatever, you see who's on the slate, and I see one of these spots. The first thing you look at is the top 25, and you're like, okay. And then when I see a home team that's favored over, as you put it, a ranked team, it always makes me jump at that number. I'm not saying I'm going to do it every time, but it's hard to get away from because, how do I put it? The AP voters don't know what the hell they're talking about. And most of these guys don't watch games. They don't watch any of the games, let alone all of them. And so the voting system that happens, people have knee-jerk reactions. Oh, my God, Virginia upset Florida State? Oh, they got to be – Louisville is the better team here. They win and cover, in my opinion.
Well, also, Virginia is set up in a letdown spot after beating Florida State. I mean, fans rush the field. You know, Virginia.
Is that guy okay? Is he still in the turf there, or what? Like, did they?
No, I didn't.
I mean, it looked like it would have been like Wile E. Coyote getting run over by a steamroller, right? That poor guy.
Can I tell you this much? I look. I respect the hell out of Virginia and what they're building there in the program. I think they're a very good team. I don't think that they are going to finish the season ranked. I don't think any of that stuff. But that said, I don't want to not take this many points with them. I think the best thing to do, and I've already circled it on my card. Do you want me? I mean, should I give it out now? Because it's kind of like one of the subscriber plays. But I'll give you this little sprinkle. Louisville is a great money line parlay option this week. It's a great money line parlay option this week. Depending on what friend you pair it with, there are numbers out there that are very viable to get around even money with Louisville and a friend, which I always like to do because, like, it's if I was one leg of a money line parlay, Jeremy would be my friend in the other leg of the money line parlay. So when you find a friend like Jeremy, you keep him.
Yeah, a good friend. I've jumped on plenty of grenades. Anyway, yeah, look, I'll go back to this. I just think Louisville's the right side. And I get what you're saying. The money line, yeah, if you want to throw it in a parlay, sure. Because I know a lot of people do those money line parlays on the weekend.
Don't do those stupid 3, 4, 7 legs. Just do 2. Be smart. Yeah.
That's a tough thing for some people because you're like, oh, I'll just throw this one in. And by the way, when you do that,
you do a parlay and you think you need one more, you don't need one more ever.
You know what happens though? Like people do that all the time, and the largest favorite on there is the one that lets you down, right? The one that should have had no business losing. But yeah, I'll be on Louisville this weekend.
Louisville. Remember that? Ernest Givens from Louisville. Do you remember what show that was from?
Oh man, no, I don't.
Time with Chris Berman and Tom Jackson. Tom Jackson always used. Chris Berman would always say Ernest Givens from, and Tom Jackson would go Louisville.
Yeah, I do remember that now. Now that you say it.
Way too young for that show. It was the greatest sports show ever. It literally was. Sunday nights with Chris Berman and Tom Jackson on NFL Primetime was the best sports show ever.
I can't stand Chris Berman, and I'm not arguing with you on this. But the fact of the matter is, when they would do You Got Jacked Up and all the other stuff, and that went by the wayside. I love those moments, showing the highlights and seeing what the players think about the big plays that were made. I don't care about their predictions because they're so terrible at it anyway.
Speaking of terrible, that was Mississippi State last year. This year, they're very good. They are traveling to Kyle Field against the Aggies, 6th-ranked Aggies, Mississippi State unranked, obviously. Mississippi State took their first loss last week, a gut punch one in OT to Tennessee that hung around. The Aggies are 4-0, convincing wins over Notre Dame. And last week, a tougher win than expected against Auburn. Now, let me point out a couple of things here. Number one, situationally, these are spots that I lust after in college sports, in college football and in college basketball. Guess who's playing their first road game of the year, Jeremy Kahn?
Mississippi State.
That would be Mississippi State. Okay, so they have been at home since the summer. They haven't had to leave any of the confines of anything. That matters to young kids when they travel and everything else. Not only that, they're going to one of the toughest places to play in all of college football. Not only that, it's a night game at Kyle Field, which is a wild scene if you haven't ever been or haven't ever seen it. It is absolutely nuts. Does this extra hook bother the ever-loving snot out of me? Yes, it does. I don't think I could bet Mississippi State here. In reality, they had a very good win over Arizona State, which was on my card, and I forecasted it, and that was a good win at home. Other than that, Southern Miss, Alcorn, NIU don't really, do anything for me. They gave up 34 points in regulation, 41 in overtime to Tennessee. Texas A&M is one of the best quarterbacks in the country that no one's talking about in Marcel Reed. And this is a very good offense. It's an even better defense. Now, I don't know what you make of this, Jeremy, but Texas A&M scored 42, 44, 41 in their first 3 weeks, including that 41 being against Notre Dame. And then they only show up for 16 last week. Is that a reflection that the offense did something wrong? Or do we believe that Auburn's defense is really that good? Because I would tend to think that it's the latter.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this spot and going back to last week, you could sit here and say, well, Texas A&M didn't look all that special last week to what you would believe to be an inferior opponent. It's still a conference opponent. And as I said earlier, and I've been saying this on every show I'm doing, we stop looking at what just happened last week and thinking that's what's going to happen this week. I'm all over Texas A&M. I wanted to do the Billy Madison, he's good, because you said everything I wanted to say. So thanks. Thanks. No, but again, I think you're right about Reed. I think you're right about the spot, the fact that it's a night game, the fact that they're going on the road. I like that it's a big number and it's going to make people want to go the other way with Mississippi State. Give me A&M all day.
Yeah, I lean that. Listen, I don't know if you're a fan of this. I'm not a fan of it, but sometimes it's just for my emotional sense. Just buy the damn hook. Like if it's only 10 cents more, if it's minus 120 to buy the hook, I'll buy the hook. Because the last thing I want this thing to do is land on 14. In reality, it shouldn't matter. The hook should not matter. But is there a world where it's, 41 to I'm sorry, let me do the math here. Where it's like 35-14 and they score a last minute touchdown? Does that happen, Jeremy? Maybe, 38-17 and let's just get back to within 14. I mean, I just buy the hook, buy the damn hook, right?
I think it's a huge get right spot, if you want to call it that, for A&M's offense.
I would think so, and we'll find out how good Mississippi State's defense really is. But Mississippi State was a team that I forecasted early in the year, thought they were much better than what people forecasted, given everything else. They still haven't won a conference game in over 2 years now, Jeremy. So I know they're going to be fighting for one, but I just don't think this is a spot where they're going to get it.
No, when they get it, it'll be at home.
I lean A&M. By the way, let's just real quick take a look at when that home spot would be. They have Florida. It's not going to be against Texas on the 9th. It's not going to be against Georgia. Oh, Jeremy. Mississippi State against Ole Miss, final week of the regular season.
The Egg Bowl.
The Egg Bowl. That's the spot. It's got to be, right?
Yeah.
Their other home opponents after this are Texas and Georgia.
That's the only home games they have left?
And then Ole Miss. That's it. That's why I said they started 5 weeks at home.
That's a weird schedule. I mean, a lot of teams do like the 3 games at home and then go on the road. You get your cupcakes. You get half eligible for postseason play.
They played Southern Miss, which is first game out of the state of Mississippi, right?
But Southern Miss hung with them for the first half, and that was the game the coach said afterwards about the disparity in talent. He goes, they spent $18 million on their offense and defensive line. Yeah, they should be able to beat us, but I'm proud of my boys for the way they played in the first half. It's Southern Miss.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they made it 34-17 with a touchdown with 33 seconds left. It was a 24-point lead for them in a game that they were covering the whole way, pretty much in the second.
What was it at halftime? It was close at halftime, right? Because they pulled away in the second half.
It was 13-10.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, the point being that Mississippi State tried to find that look ahead spot for them of when they're going to win that home game. I would circle the Egg Bowl. I think that's the one rivalry game that goes in their direction. All right, let's get to our final game here with DU and Florida State. Am I the only person on the planet, the only person in America who thinks that Miami's overrated? Please tell me yes.
I don't think so because, overrated might be a strong word coming from me, but I don't know how they could be underrated at this point because I think this is a much better game than people want to give it credit for. And I'm not talking about ranked. I'm talking about competitiveness in the game.
What did we just say? The other ranked versus ranked. If you blindly took higher ranked versus lower ranked, if you blindly took the lower ranked team, the numbers tell you what to do. So it's Florida State here for me. I'll just say that right off the bat. I don't think Miami is as good, particularly offensively. I think their defense is really good. That I will say. Their defense is legit. But I don't think their offense is as good as we'd needed to believe. Again, that Florida game, you have to remember they played an offense in that game that didn't have a first down on third down the entire game. They had 7 first down. Like, that offense was held to nil for 3 quarters, to nil. And it wasn't until the fourth quarter when it got, really out of hand. That 26-7 over Florida was wildly misleading. Wildly misleading. So I don't think this offense is that good. I do think Florida State's defense has a chance here to really do something. They are coming off a loss, which is exactly the situational spot that you want. Their defense has to show up like it did against Alabama. If they don't, they're going to be in real trouble. But can you imagine anybody, not getting up for this game? I mean, this is going to be the ultimate scene for college football on Saturday night.
Yeah, I can't wait for this. And again, anytime I do my write-ups, I talk about spots. I'm a big guy for, I love seeing spots that I love to attack. You could look at trends. I could find trends that send you in any direction you want. Fact of the matter is, I felt like they had a look-ahead game last Friday with Miami coming up this weekend. You're playing Virginia on an island game. That's their Super Bowl. Let's be honest. Like, that's the one time they're going to be on national TV. Mm-hmm. They showed out. They beat you. Now you're embarrassed. You go back home. And I think you get the best Florida State team you're going to get this year in this game. I think there's a really good chance they upset them, but I definitely want to take the points.
Yeah, I mean, it's Florida State or pass. I mean, there's no reason to look in any other direction just because I'm waiting for a spot where Miami, here's the other question I asked you. Do you believe Miami can go undefeated? Well, if you look at the rest of their schedule, the answer is yes. Home for Louisville and Stanford, road trip to SMU. Actually, might already be gone by that point in time. 2 more home games for Syracuse and NC State, and then at Virginia Tech and at Pitt. Maybe Pitt might be the only spot. But other than that, this is the one game on their schedule that they lose. That's it.
They'd have to have an epic kind of collapse like Florida State did at an opponent. Like, they would have to beat themselves, in my opinion, with the way the rest of their schedule sets up.
Yeah.
And we're talking before the playoffs, right? Undefeated regular season. I'm not sure how they match up with some of the best teams in the SEC, but we'll see.
Undefeated in the regular season and a date with Georgia Tech in the ACC championship game where I pray that Miami's a double-digit favorite so I can hammer the Tech.
Jamal Haynes King.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Ramblin' wreck, baby. Okay. Any other thoughts? Heartaches, neurosis, psychosis, queries, or theories? Best bet time, Jeremy Kahn. And we cashed for you guys last week. We're going to do it again this week. And I like this play. In fact, I adore this play. I would like to snuggle up and spoon with this play. Little spoon, as a matter of fact, as you know.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely like to be held.
That's true. Let's go to Texas Tech and Houston. The 11th ranked Red Raiders in H-Town to face the Cougars, a team that I have been on a lot this year, a team that I am very high on this year, and a team that is a defensive juggernaut. And this sort of sets up for me similarly to a matchup that Texas Tech had 2 weeks ago, which is when they went into Utah, it was a slow defensive battle early. And I think that's where this sets up. Now, Texas Tech is coming off a bye. Houston played at Oregon State and barely snuck out of there with a win last week. So this is a spot where it could be a little bit dicey for Houston. I don't love Houston's offense. Connor Wegman is still kind of settling in, and we've seen him against tougher opponents. I'm not talking about Rice or against Stephen F. Austin. There are certain spots against Colorado and Oregon State in the last 2 weeks where the offense just wasn't very efficient. And Willie Fritz is smart enough to know my defense is that good. I will punt the ball away, put them on the field, and give my offense another chance. But Texas Tech, even with the extra week to prepare, I think Houston's defense is good enough to slow them down. And I don't really fear that Houston's offense is putting up 14-plus points here in the first half. So we're going to look to a first half under. which is 22. What did we say it was?
22 and a half.
22 and a half. Let me just double check that while you're talking.
Yeah, because the total in the game was 43 and a half. So they went
Right.
over that number.
So we're gonna look. It's 51. Actually, no, it's 51 and a half for the game. First half is 26 and a half.
Oh,
Yes.
you know what? It's the other game we were talking about.
Michigan, Wisconsin. That's why I want to double check the number. So we're going first half under 26 and a half between Texas Tech and Houston. Jeremy.
If you haven't watched, I mean, this isn't your father's or even your Texas Tech team. If you remember just a few years ago when they were just slinging it all over the field, their defense is really good. I mean, they went into Utah and they embarrassed Utah, frankly. And I think this is another good under spot. I love the first half under.
Yeah. Again, I don't think you need to worry about this offense doing much here. I mean, you need 4 touchdowns. That's the reality of it. Or 3 touchdowns and 3 field goals, right? Yeah. No, 3 touchdowns and 2 field goals. Sorry. But you need 4 to 5 possessions to score. And even if it's one team doing it, you're asking them to score on 5 of 8 possessions. What you just have to avoid is the big play, quick score. The punt return for a touchdown, the 80-yard touchdown pass, run, whatever it may be. If we avoid those things, and these are both defenses that limit explosive plays, I think we're in a good position here. So that is going to be our best bet again. Texas Tech, Houston, first half under 26 and a half. You guys go to our premium pages, get a 3-day package, get a 7-day package, put us together because you get a nice sandwich of Mark Zeno and Jeremy Kahn together. I'm peanut butter. He's jelly. I'm
sweet.
I'm the salami. He's the prosciutto. Okay.
Prosciutto.
Anyway.
Mozzarella.
Don't forget to check out the Top Dogs NFL edition on Fridays as that comes out. Do me a favor. Smash that like button. Hit a subscribe so you know when this content comes out. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you guys are on. And for future references, if there's any games you want us to see, drop it in the comments section. If you guys want any thoughts on any games that we didn't hit, I will hit you back there as well. So that'll do it for us. He's Jeremy Kahn. I'm Mark Zeno. Thanks for watching Top Dogs. Have a great college weekend. We'll talk to you guys next week.